units are taking hold of Objective Bravo 2. Objective Bravo 2 is under attack.
Hi, this is Splish and today I'm going back into World War III since the game recently started its Season 1 that is called Operation Redline, which means that there's been new content added into the game. Finally, I would say. The big question though is it enough to keep up the interest for players that are already or have already invested hours into the game, and furthermore, is it enough to bring back some of the lost veterans out there into the game again? We're getting to that in a moment, but I also wanted to say that the gameplay you're watching, by the way, is me trying out one of two new maps, playing TDM on a map called Gobi. The action takes place due to the name in the Gobi Desert and in the dusty chambers of an ancient temple. Later on, you'll see me playing the map called DMZ, which is the new map when it comes to tactical ops. The battles are taking place at the Korean demilitarized zone, meaning the border separating North and South Korea. I think both maps are okay, especially the DMZ map. There is though one thing that I've heard other gamers mentioning as well, and that's the fact that the lighting and the brightness is a bit over the top. In certain areas of the map especially, it becomes a bit overwhelming in my taste. So maybe they can tune that down a bit. But alongside with the two new maps and weapons etc, Season 1 also provides a battle pass, which is the key to exclusive rewards in Operation Redline. So play and battle to unlock over 50 tiers of free and premium rewards, including new and unique customization options for operators, weapons, strikes and more. So far so good, right? But is it enough to please a community that has been waiting for months or even years, to be honest, for new content? Well, Season 1 is of course the start, and Farm 51's roadmap shows that they have plans for more to come. But to be honest, personally I am a bit disappointed, especially since I was hoping that they would finally add one or two new game modes to the game as well. I played World War III already from the start in 2018, and I'm just insanely tired of getting into another tactical ops game that takes around 30 minutes to finish. If I'm gonna be harsh, it sometimes feels like a running simulator between objectives. Sure, you're getting into firefights as well, but most of the time I usually die by a tank or another vehicle. That really once again makes me wish that they either buff the RPGs to balance the tough armor of the tank or tanks, or limit the amount of tanks and other vehicles even more that can spawn into the map at the same time. I know some will say, well, you have to cooperate to bring down the tanks and vehicles. Sure, well, I understand, but in reality, it's very seldom it works like that in the game. I mean, how many of you are actually playing as an engineer, for example? I don't see many. You see me playing sometimes here in the game though. I guess my bottom line is that I would either like to see also a version with tactical ops where you're able to play infantry only. I believe that quite a few people would fancy that, and it would be a quite easy task also for the devs to accomplish, since we're not really talking about a new map or new maps or a total different game mode. Or at least lower the time it takes to secure an objective also in tactical ops to increase the pacing a bit. Because I don't feel that tactical ops is such a great game mode, and it shouldn't be the only big team game mode option that we have in World War III at the end of 2022. So I simply wished that Farm 51 would have launched a new game mode of some sort as well already in the start here of Season 1. The game needs that. I need that in order to continue to play, and I believe most of the people that have played the game for quite some time now would appreciate that a lot. I've mentioned a rush kind of game mode before in former videos, similar to Rush in Battlefield. I believe that it would be a lot of fun in a game such as World War III. And why not add a domination mode to the smaller sized TDM maps at the same time? As always, feel free to fill in here when it comes to your thoughts as well and your opinions. So, is this enough to keep players then occupied until the next big update or end season? Well, if you're new to the game, I guess you're fine with everything that comes in your way, since most of the content in the game feels new and fresh for you to a certain degree. However, in my case, being a veteran, it is not enough to bring me back into the game again. I will play World War III occasionally and check again if there's a brand new game mode being added. but before that happens, I'll mainly play other games. It also has to be said that there's still also room for improvements when it comes to the overall performance in the game. As you may know, there's been server issues causing a wide variety of problems here, and at the same time we've seen maintenance going on almost every day in some periods, and the launch of Season 1 was no exception. I'm not going to spend more time talking about that, but I do hope for the sake of the game and the hardworking developers that they're able to find ways to avoid similar problems in the future. Especially since the player count dropped dramatically after the not so successful launch of the open beta earlier this fall. But fingers crossed that the season roadmap can help the game to gain back players, alongside with the fact that I've seen Farm 51 communicating better than before on their Twitter. I have talked about this in previous videos quite a few times, and I believe that it's very important and the community deserves that. One more thing I would like to see in the game when it comes to giving back to the community, especially the problems mentioned earlier, is some double XP events now and then. I mean, even a 10-year-old game such as PlanetSide 2 that I'm still playing quite some, or having an ongoing double XP event every weekend for a whole month. I believe that's the way to go, especially if Farm 51 also wants to regain some trust and appreciation from their core community of players. So with that said, I want to say thanks for watching, and I also want to wish you a great day until we meet the next time. Take care, my friends, game on, and bye.
Lead on someone else, will ya? Ah, I'm hit!
UAV is ready for deployment. Our units are taking hold of objective Charlie.
Dostałem!